بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما.
So now we are into the next part of our presentation, PPTs. Like we'll try to create some few other things like text boxes. That's something I'll start with. Now the text boxes are like, let me see if there are any presentation. Now this is one copy of presentation. So here you can see there are a couple of text boxes. So sometimes you may want to represent a few things in the form of a box. So inserting a box is very simple. You go to the option of insert, and then there is an option called a text box here. You can select and you can just drag to write down the text. That is one way. The other way you can do is, I normally don't use this. I normally just copy this one to save the time in the settings. So I just copy paste this one, and then I'll remove whatever the text. I just remove it and type my own. So the good thing is, you get the same settings what you have that will replicate. So that is a benefit. So you save a lot of time here. So you just create your own content. Let's say I want to write down something like return traffic from the router or from the internet, something. Assume this is my text I want to display. But this should not be like a normal text, how it appears in my presentation here. Not like this. It has to be a little bit unique way to represent. So I just drag these things as per the size. So adjust your size, whatever the size you want to adjust. You can adjust the size from here, and whatever the font style, whatever the settings you want to apply, you can just apply first. Let's say I want to make it bold as well. And now this is your text box. But again, if you see this text box or this small box, which shows some few points information, this should be a little bit different from the actual this one, right? So what I'll do is I'll try to add some colors. So you can add the outline, the border line. You can add whatever the outline you want. You can see all the options here. So as you move over, you'll find options. So I'm not explaining the options. I'm trying to show you how you can utilize these options. Okay. So if you go there, you'll automatically find it. It's a clear English, which tells you what is the weight, what is the weight, and what is the style you want. So mainly I select the color. Mostly you can use any of the color, whatever syncs with your image. So either you can just have something like this, or alternatively, if you want this way, then you can also add some quick styles. There are some quick style option where you can select predefined styles. You can adjust according to that. Something like this. So if you see one of my presentation here, this one, if you see here, this is a kind of diagram which simulates how the traffic flows. So the traffic comes from your LAN. So I'm adding some arrows. I'll also show you that. And you can see I want to display some information about that particular arrow, which displays the traffic is coming from the internet. That actually resembles that. So either you can orally tell, that's, of course, we do that. But when you have a written over there, that gives kind of notes as well. So that's what I created here in this, how you can create these text boxes with some settings. Of course, whatever the style you select, accordingly, you have to change the colors, because over the red, yellow, so over the red, normally white or yellow suits. So if you know some few designing as well, you will automatically understand the color combinations. So kind of color, whatever you want, you can design. So this is one thing. The other thing, I'll show you also how you can add these symbols. So there is one more option where there will be some shapes you can add. There are plenty of shapes as per your requirement. You can see there are stars. You can see all these symbols. So most of the time you may use a few things like, generally you see few things like this, some kind of cloud, where you are trying to teach something. Let's say you are taking some kind of English class and you are trying to explain the interaction between the two people, and you want to show what he's thinking. So normally you see these things, visuals, if you see the textbooks or if you see these things. So you can also do that, add this one, and same way you can change the layout, like the same options, and also the shape fill, whatever the color you want to fill, all the options will be here when you select that. And on the top of it, you can also add the text. You can also move this. Of course, it comes back. There will be an option, bring to front. So you can click on this, bring to front, send to back. So when you are placing 2 or more images or these kind of things, you can add the options here. So of course, this is not exactly what I want, or you can add a new one. You can also add a new text box. I think when you click on this, you already have a text in that. You can type in. Let's say I want to add this text. I'm just trying to simulate few texts. You can see this is the text what I want. And of course, you can add bold settings. These are all the things you can add. Color, you have to figure out. So something like this. Okay. So this way you can add the symbols. So there are plenty of symbols, shapes. Most of the time I use arrows. Like here you can see the arrows, rectangles, boxes. So if you just go around, you will find the options. So according to your concept, whichever suits, like if you're doing some kind of, if you want to simulate some mathematical classes and you want to simulate this symbol, I think, what is that? Division, I think. So division, I think these are division symbol. You also have those options. So you just need to see these options here, even play buttons, this kind of all the options you can see here. So this is one kind of symbols you can add. Text boxes we have seen. And one more thing I think I missed yesterday, you can also add the images. So whenever you are trying to add any concept relating to image is very important, because the image will give a visual view of what exactly you want to discuss. So if you see most all my presentations, it's more visual in the form of images, where you can see I'm talking about a firewall, a product, and what exactly it does. You can see the images. So in every slide, you see there will be few points and there will be an image which exactly explains what I'm talking about. Now, how you find it's simple. You Google it, you'll find everything. Let's say in my case, I want to find out the next generation firewalls. That's my, let's say, product name or topic name. So you search on the Google, you'll find plenty of images. Now you need to figure out which one suits your requirement. Accordingly, you have to simply copy that image and paste it here. That's it. Yeah, it is a sample file, so I can make changes. So I want to make sure I don't do any changes to my original files. And then you can drag this one. I'm using shift button, and then drag. So when you use shift button, it will drag your image from 4 sides. Like we can say like common from all the sides, it will drag. Accordingly, you can adjust. If you want, you can drag this way. It's up to you. So mostly you have to adjust the size this way. And sometimes some images, you have to use this format. So there are different options in that. Accordingly, you have to select. So make sure that you also have images in your presentations, which simulates what exactly you want to discuss, or if you're using some kind of max formulas, there may be a formula image which can be there, because when you're teaching some calculation, the formula image, or when you're talking about any specific topic or specific points, not only heading, even you can add few things relating to the points as well. So images, it's easy to copy paste. And then a text box image, we have seen the text boxes as well as the images, and symbols also we have seen. And finally, there is one more thing I would like to add. There are a couple of things like animation effects. That is also very simple. We'll quickly do animation effects, and finally how to convert it into PDF.